Hi, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo. I want to help you get your mojo back. So come say hello to me. Today we are talking about literally how to up your vibe in a way that is proven to help you gain clarity, to help you move through your frustrations and your doubts and your fears so that you can hone in on that thing you want to get done and become. And so just a little bit about astrology. If you don't know me and you don't know that I say that the planets don't do anything to you, that we live in a cooperation with the cosmos, and that when the planets make a move, you feel it. And when you make a move, the planets reflect that by way of aspects and angles in astrology. Basically, astrology tells you what time it is, but you decide and you make the choices of how you want to behave in that time frame. Yeah, it's on you. Come say hello to me. Got lots to talk about. I got lots of visual aid. Because Uranus is retrograde and Mars is about to go retrograde in 2 days. We're already in the energy of it, of what we're feeling and what we're choosing to do and think about and express or not express. And so the combination of Mars and Uranus in retrograde. I've been talking about it, but I just want to talk about it again. That the Uranus vibe has what it reflects in you is your need for freedom, to be compassionate, to advance through science or technology or astrology, and to utilize some findings. Like it's a search for the truth. And now that it's retrograde, it's even more so in that sense of what we're feeling. You know, planets are not conscious of their movements. So, yeah. But you feel everything because whatever exists within the capacity for you to acknowledge. You may not consciously be aware of, oh, there's a cloud moving over the top of the building. I feel that. You may not acknowledge it. But you're feeling it. You're a sentient being. You're feeling everything, not just on this planet, not just what's going on around you, but throughout the entire galaxy. So that connection that you have to sensation is now becoming more sensational. So you have the ability now to, not that you didn't have it before, it's just that now that we're talking about it, you have the ability. You have it. If you didn't know, I'm letting you know right now, you have the ability to move that vibe from frustration to productivity. How do you want to do that? How do you want to go about that? Well, part of that is looking at your modus operandi. How do you approach something? And because we're creatures of habit and we create patterns, we don't always know how to get out of it. You know, well, that's how I operate. That's how it works. Well, we have to work with our biology. We have to work with the conditions in the environment. That definitely changes. It's been proven and shown. It changes who we are, how we feel, what we think. So if you can't stand humidity and you go someplace where it's like, it's 94 degrees and it's raining or it's everything's sticky, you could get really frustrated, or some people thrive on that. So your environment has a lot to do with how you feel. So taking care of yourself, your body, mind, spirit connection, right? You get all that together and suddenly you have an alignment, and then you want to move forward with a purpose, a passion, something that you've come here to do. And then what? Then things feel delayed. They don't call you back. What's happening? And then that brings up more emotions or thoughts or feelings of how else can I strategize? Or, well, I'm done. I tried it 4 times. It didn't work. So that's where we tune into our intuition. That's where we can use astrology to say, what time is it right now for me? Is it time for wealth, health, passion, purpose? Or all of it? Wouldn't that be fun? So when I'm looking at astrology, and right now we're talking about the Uranus, planet Uranus, which represents your need for freedom and to also be innovative or rebellious, depending on how much you're tuned into who you are and how you feel. And then there's Mars. And Mars is the planet that represents how you act, how you move. So it could be sideways. It could be very aggressively forward. It could be with a lot of forethought and planning. It could be, you know, like a wide-eyed kid. Yay, let's go jump off the thing and see what happens. So Mars represents how you act. And as Mars goes retrograde, from the perspective of Earth, that energy, the pull, the way Mars is moving, the way all the planets move, we feel that. So as Mars moves into retrograde motion, and I want to show you, I took a screenshot of it. Da, 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 da. Hey, Elizabeth's here. Hi, good morning. Where is my screenshot? Is that it? No, that's not it. I thought I put it in. Okay, I was working on so many things because I want to show you some really cool stuff. When Uranus, as I'm looking for the thing, when Uranus goes into a retrograde phase, any planet that goes retrograde represents the behind the scenes coming forward. So what comes forward? Well, anything dealing with science, technology, higher learning skills, freedom fighters, any kind of technology that in conjunction with Mars, which deals with metal, automobiles, right, vehicles, transportation, modes of transportation. So when I look at that, and wait, I think I see it's going to get big. Whoa, that's it. That's the one I wanted to show you. Okay, move that over. So we have, and let me just put me up above. There we go. Okay, so there's Uranus in Taurus retrograde. Taurus represents security, values, being very practical, grounded. It's an earth sign. And so we want to look at what's concrete. Where's the research? I want to see the data. How do I know that's going to help me? How do I know that what they're doing is true? This is not like Bitcoin, where it's a crapshoot. I want to look at the numbers. I want to look at the proof. I want to see evidence. I need evidence. That's what this is saying. And now Mars is the action part of the program. In Aries, it's a natural placement. It's like, yeah, let's go. But then retrograde is, wait a minute. I need to see evidence that if I jump, there's going to be a net, or that if I do something, what's it going to look like on the other end? So that's what we're looking at right now. I took away the moon and a couple other things just so I can help you get clear on what we're focused on. With the sun in Virgo, details. Organizational skills. How can you profit or advance through a series of systematic procedures, systematic, Virgo, to what end? My husband asked me this morning, to what end? And all I can give him was like 6 paragraphs of stuff. And so what I'm seeing now as I'm talking is, to what end? Is to raise your frequency so that you can develop that intuitive knowing that that decision you're about to make is the truth for you, which sets you free. Done. How do we do that? How do we do that? Well, I want to show you some stuff that's really cool. If you're just joining me today, or if you're watching this in a replay on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe, click the bell. You can ring my bell, ring my bell. What does Elizabeth say? You are describing exactly where I am at this morning. It's the Truman Show. wherever we are. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Come say hello. Okay, so I have so much fun stuff to show you that I was researching. Now, with regard to transportation, there's some cool things. There's one thing that I didn't get in here. I didn't have the time because I quickly saw it. It's about a new airplane. But aside from that, let's look at these flying cars. Where's George Jetson? Daughter Judy. Okay, wait a minute. Let's see. Japan, Toyota, has designed a very sleek flying car, manned or personed, and it got off the ground safely and landed safely. Now, all of these would require federal, what is that, flying, you'd need a pilot's license right now to fly one of these, but wait, let me show you. It's so exciting. And let's get rid of the screenshot. Okay, it's called the SkyDrive. Yeah, a flying car. It's been in the works for about 10 to 15 years, and they're not the only ones. Let's see, Israeli. The Israeli people, hello, Israel. Look what they have. It's a flying car, and it takes off the ground and lands successfully. So this is the wave of the future. And this is what I talk about with regard to Uranus. Uranus is all about the new technology. It's about space, the final frontier. Thank you, James Kirk. It's about, or Gene Roddenberry. It's about the advancement through technology that can help you, or it can shock you, because the Uranus vibe is very eclectic, rebellious, anarchy. What is that? What happened? How is that floating in the air in my living room? We've seen a lot in our lifetime, right? Haven't we? Technologically speaking? I think so. Okay, now we're not done. Okay, the U.S. Air Force, yeah, although I gotta say, Captain General, your visual is not very attractive. It's kind of like a helicopter, but it's clunky looking, right? Look at that. Let me just make it a little bigger. It's a little clunky, but this has also been in the making for 10 years. They've had, the Air Force has had some private funding to help them with this. So, what we're looking at is, if we live another 20 years-ish, you could be flying one, well, not that one, but you could be flying one of these, or, let's get that going, or one of these. So, isn't that so cool, right? I'm just gonna, okay, ba-ba-da-ba. Look at that. Look at that. Would you go? Raise your hand. I would go. Hi, Laura. Welcome to the program. So, but right now, the Israeli car is only allowed to be used in that country for certain specific tasks. They're testing it out. It can't leave the country. Imagine what it's going to look like. Any future science fiction, Uranus, movie that we've ever seen with the technology of people to fly, and what's that going to look like? I don't know, but I want to give it a try. Okay, so that's not all that's going on. What else is going on? With technology and things that you may or may not be aware of, let me just get rid of that, is utilizing medicine. Uranus also represents medical advancements. Now, Neptune represents actual medicine, and the two together formulate it's like a vibrational healing. The PEMF beds that you can use, any kind of laser treatment or vibrational healing. In town, there's a massage. It's a hydro massage massage bed. Oh my gosh. That you lie on that thing and it goes like the rollers are all filled with hot water and they roll up and down your spine. And I was like, oh, wow. Neptune, water. The electronic technology is Uranus, right? So we move forward with what now? You're mostly water. What's going on in your cellular system? Well, let me tell you what's possible. It was downed and frowned upon by a lot of the medical world, but here's what Russia is wanting to do, and they've been working on this for a while, and I'm going to move it up so you can see. Gene hacking. Yeah. So what happens is they call it the CRISPR, and what they do is, and this is all the major players in science and technology have been experimenting with this, and that is they literally can hone in an embryo in utero and find the one gene that creates illness, or in this case, they're wanting to, in Russia, eradicate people who are born deaf. So they're looking to eradicate that gene. And it's a technology that does not disrupt other cells, we don't think, but any new technology has ramifications later on, right? So, genome testing and splicing. This has been going on, right? You've heard this over the years. Oh, look, somebody made a goat. It's got an extra ear, or something. This is the more refined version of it. And China was doing it as well. And I'm sure there's a lot of people doing it that we are not aware of. So isn't that fascinating that to create a genetically modified, not food, person to eradicate disease? Okay, in the futuristic thought of science and technology, that sounds like a really cool thing, right? But then, there's all the ethical questions. Who says you're supposed to? Who says why? What about karma? What about learning something? If a person is born deaf, maybe they chose that, right? So there's so much that comes up with this territory of science and advancement. So we're moving beyond the hybrid vehicle, right? We're moving beyond the, hey, I cloned an animal in a laboratory. So we're actually going to that next phase. Now, let me bring it back to you. What are you doing? What are you doing to change whatever is going on in your vibration? Now, I experiment with crystals, with I've done the Bioveda. I've done different kinds of lasers, PEMF waves. I have a biomat that's filled with tourmaline and jade crystals, and isochronic tones. When I listen to those, I've created the Bodhi brainstorm. So moving vibration affects you. It does. Who lives in the flight path of some airport and it's like you just brace for impact? Or we used to live near a train station, and I could tell time by the train. Or the folks in Chicago who live near the L. So, but you get used to it, right? And then you create a dense gap between, it's a barrier, so that you can get through the day without, oh my God, here it comes. I could talk louder. I used to live in a trailer a long time ago, when I didn't know who I was or what I wanted. And on a borrowed mattress, I had ants crawling across me in bed. I slept in my clothes. It was just, it was an experience. But during that time, in the trailer, it was a tin roof. And when it rained, and yes, it rains in California, maybe not lately, which we're sending prayers and love to anyone experiencing difficulty in this weather. But at the time, I could not hear the television because it was so loud. So when you create an environment that has conscious intention, and then you move into that environment to create a bubble of healing and transformation. That's really raising the bar on how you can get to that next level. The next level of what? Where are we going? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? That's the question. Because if you have a belief that, and I'm not just talking astrology, because I still hear, in any industry, I will hear something limiting, because people are part of that world, so it's astrology. Someone once asked me, I write for the a national magazine called the Sedona Monthly, and the Astro Intuitive column. And I love working for them. They're so fun. And it's 10 issues a year. And so I write them in advance. And I've been doing it for almost 9 years now, I think. And I love it. And someone saw me, read the magazine, and she was starting an online magazine. And she said to me, we love your work. Would you like to write a daily column, forecast, a daily forecast for all the signs? And I said, no. And she said, why? And I said, because dailies are throwaways. Dailies, it's been ingrained in people's mind. You open up the newspaper, it's a mental break. Hey, what's it going to say for my sign? And then you read the blurb. Now, however much time or energy an actual astrologer put into that, I'm not debunking them. What I'm talking about is your perception, your reality of what something is and how it can help you. Dailies are throwaways. People, they don't make changes from dailies, right? Because they're trained to take mental breaks in any way they can. So they open up and they do the crossword puzzles, they read the horoscope, then they read a cartoon, and then they throw the paper out. So what's the mentality behind that? And this is what I'm getting to, is the point of transformation, is that when you combine a thought with a sound, it can be a word, it can be music, it can be chanting, and that frequency suddenly helps you to expand or contract, that's the moment you need to become aware that you have power. So what I was saying was that the limiting thoughts I would see in any industry is that, oh, you can't do that. It can't be done. Where's the proof? I need to see proof. So right now, in the next 6 months, because of all the retrograde planets, let me just show you one more time. Where is the screenshot I had? There it is. All the retrograde planets. And then Mercury, starting in October, is going to be retrograde. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, count them, retrograde planets. And what's that about? What's the last time you had 7 retrograde planets? And sometimes your brain's going to be on fire with, oh, I used to do this thing. I have a client who is in one profession and excels at it, but used to be in another profession and did not excel publicly, but excelled creatively. And they contacted me over the weekend and said, guess what I just did? And I said, what? And they were a musician and they bought a piano. I was like, after all these years, I'm so excited for you. So the thing that gives you joy, the thing that helps you to expand, is now going to demand, not really, but some part of you is going to say, I want evidence that this is helping me. I want proof. I want to see the expansion on a sheet of paper, like you get a lab test done. You're taking liquid iron because, you are anemic or something. And you say, I want to see that this thing is working for me. And then you look and you say, oh, wow, my iron levels have gone up. Okay, it's working. And that gives you a sense of hope, and that changes your vibration, and that changes your environment, and that changes your MO and how you're going to approach something. You're a Mojo Mystic. Everyone listening to me right now, whether you're listening to me live or not, you're a Mojo Mystic. You want to move your mojo so that you get your mojo back and you start to realize what's possible and how you can become the thing, the person, the experience on a greater scale. Make sense? So, I mean, even the things that I drink, everything I eat has a purpose to it. This is a combination of rose petals, hibiscus tea, and the butterfly pea flower that I drink. And lately I've been vibing with the color pink and purple. And here is my, wait a minute, you can't really see it because of the green screen, but there's pink and green in here. This is my kunzite. And this is a very high vibe stone, like starseed, andromedan, eclectic, high vibe. As I download, I'll be in bed reading at night, and I just stick it right here, and it stays. And Dean walks in and goes, "What's that on your chest?" And I go, "I'm just tuning my frequency. This is my tuner." Also, lately, I've been, wait a minute, this is a shungite. Okay, shungite, and the certain type of shungite, the higher quality grade, that if you rubbed it repeatedly with a fabric or something, you would see a little bit of tinge of gray on your fingers. Okay, I've got chunks of shungite, and I've done the research, and I'll actually post this on my Facebook page if you're interested. I get shungite from Copper Canyon Lapidary.com. Literally, they're just setting up their website. But Courtney and Michael, they run it. They're honest. They're down-to-earth folks. Joel and Angela also are, working with the team. So give them a shout out. You know what? This is, and where are they? I mean, I have so many things I got from them. But I got bags of shungite. And I did the research, and I was talking to them about it, and they had done research, and we both came together with our information. Universities in the U.S., in Texas, I forget, in Colorado, Houston, definitely, in Russia, France, have tested shungite as a vibrational healing tool. So I literally take shungite chunks, and it's got to be the high quality. That's why I say you go to coppercanyonlapidary.com. I don't get kickback, or there's no affiliate money, but I trust them, and this is where I get my stuff and all my crystals. And if they can't get it for me, they tell me where to go to get it the cheapest. And you can say, I saw Elaine talking about, and you mentioned my name, Elaine, and they'll say, "Oh, wow. Yeah, we've got lots of shungite. Wait. No, that's not it. I have a shungite ball. It's in the other room." But anyway, I literally boil the shungite stones, and then I dump the water, and the rocks are hot, so you got to be careful. And then I put them in a big pitcher, like a lemonade thing, with a little spigot at the bottom, and I fill it halfway with water, and I leave it for 3 days. And then every day I drink half a cup in the morning and half a cup at night. And the research data on the shungite water is, it even tastes different to me. To some people it may not, but there's extra minerals in it, and it's very beneficial vibrationally speaking. I don't want to get too far off track, but I will post that on my website, so you can, let me make a note of that. Okay, shungite. Shungite on the page. So Copper Canyon Lapidary. They're such sweet people. And tell them Elaine sent you. And maybe they'll get a good deal. Okay. All right, so anyway, coming back, I've been wearing this lately to help ground me, but at the same time, so that as I utilize my vibe, I have to be very aware of what's happening. Sometimes I get overwhelmed in a parking lot. Literally, I will get lost. I'll park the car and I'll go inside if it's a big place, and I'll come out and go, "Oh, wow. I just got turned around by so many people, so much energy on the inside. So I ground myself. I do the things that I know I need to do to stay as present as possible. Okay, let's put it that way. So what was I going to show you? Hang on. There was something else I was going to show you. Screenshot. No. Oh, yeah, here it is. Found it. Okay. I chant every day. And sometimes it's the Gayatri mantra. And sometimes it's with Deva Premal and Mitten. And if you've not heard of them, they are amazing. And they have the 21-day meditation challenge. You can buy that. And it comes with 21 different meditations that you can chant. And then they talk about the meanings and the words. And so one of them that I chant is, here it is. It's the Omarapazanadidi. So when I do that, and I just literally found this morning, but I've been chanting this for years. And I do it, and mantra means to focus the mind. That's what mantra means. So in my mantras, sometimes I like the vibe of one, or it almost sounds musical, so I'll chant that one, or some are calmer, some are more energetic. So they all have different meanings and purposes. But this particular mantra was scientifically studied in groups. I'll also post that link so you can read about that. And in India, I believe it was, this was studied with different age groups and different altitudes. Hear me out. So they had 3 different groups. One where they were just chanting something, the kids between ages 8 and 13 were chanting something very, like silly. Like la bidi ba bidi ba ba ba, whatever. And they measured their cognitive performance. They had this whole thing, and you can read it in the article. And then they would have them chant something that they were familiar with, but didn't know the meaning of. So they studied that. Then they studied people who chanted, plus these age groups, and the monks, Buddhist monks, who chanted with knowledge of the meaning of the Omarapazanadidi. And that chant became very interesting in the study because it showed that there's clarity, that there's extra vibrational alterations in a person just doing 15 minutes of this. Now I had it out. Let me see if I played it, if you could actually hear it. Who's with me today, by the way? Let me just say hello. I'm just like blah, 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 blah. Hi, who else is here? Hey, Vicky's here. Yeah, okay. That would be great. Sure, let me see. Do we have it? There it is. Now you hear the Guto monks in the beginning, and they're the ones who have the blah, 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 they got that voice. It's amazing. I don't know if you can hear this. I'm just going to let you hear this for a sec. I'm going to move my microphone up a little bit. It's pretty cool. And then, let me move this. Then you hear Deve start. Oops. Then she starts chanting. I highly recommend you do this. Right? Okay. That's it. 15 minutes. You do that 15 minutes a day. You will have greater cognitive function. You will have more creative inspiration, and you'll just feel better overall. Now, what that does to let me just get rid of that. Okay, what that does to the water in your body is it creates a vibration. Now that vibration then is a frequency, and that frequency gets emitted all around you. And then you start to attract the thing that you've been wanting and trying to get, to go for, to do. Or you help your body release the vibe that stops you. Because the moment you have fear, that's the only thing really that we're looking to transform on this planet. We call it so many different things, right? We call it doubt, frustration, and litigation, and anger, and on and on. It's fear, right? So when you start dealing with the fear, and you may not be aware of what the fear is, you may not be aware that you're even feeling it, but when there is a limitation between you and or a blockage between you and the thing that you really want, getting present, changing your environment, the inner environment, is going to technically, literally, with positive proof and evidence, show you that you can get what you want without having to work so hard for it all the time, without feeling disappointed. Now, if you're someone who is medicated for whatever reason, maybe you have to take blood pressure medication, or my mom had so many metformin. She had to do a blood thinner, and then she had 2 kinds of thyroid medication. And so after a while with that kind of medication, your body slows down because your liver is literally processing. I'm talking about prescription drugs. Now, if you help yourself, and I'm not talking about doing liver cleanses, except to support the liver, like finding out, doing a little research, what helps, because you want the evidence now, what really helps to detox the liver? Well, dandelion. I'm growing some, it just grows like a weed out here anywhere. It's a weed, right? But you grow it, you see it, you clean it, you wash it off, you put it in a green shake, or you cook it and you eat it. You've just supported your liver. Milk thistle does the same thing. I don't prescribe, I don't diagnose. You have to check with your doctor, do your own research. But that's what I do to help my liver. And if I know, like last week, I have a little carpal tunnel in my wrist. And so it was really hurting. So I took extra aspirin. For 3 days in a row, I was taking aspirin. I was like, well, what do I need to do to help my liver? So if you can do one and balance the other, and you put it together, you've got a great routine for upping your vibe. Now, if you're on medication that's recreational, or you drink a lot of alcohol, I don't advise trying to do something spiritual or to tune in, because you're not in the right environment. You're just not. Your body, mind, spirit is not going to be connected. I'm not judging it. I'm just saying, yeah. Unless you go to a shaman and have a specific experience, cool, that's what you're doing. But you kick off your shoes after a long day, you got a couple of beers, you have a margarita, you eat a lot of sugar, you have some chips. You're not creating a lighter environment for upping your vibe to get to where you want to go. Just keep that in mind. Does that make sense? Let me just see where you are. I have to check in. Shelby says, thank you for sharing these things. I love crystals. The chanting was so peaceful and beautiful. I'm going to type it right in the box right now. CopperCanyonLapidary.com. Courtney and Michael are the owners. And they work hard, They do shows, but everything was shut down because of COVID. So they went to a bunch of fairs around the country to see what they could acquire. They also will take on people. What was Courtney saying the other day? She was talking about a stone I had never heard of. And I said, what is that? That's really amazing. They look like little great bubbles, but sparkly. And she said, oh, this guy... she didn't even know who he was. He's supposedly really famous, like some MTV kind of guy. He found out about these things, and he wanted big rock, like these little, I forget what they were called, but they're very tiny, little things that she was selling, she and her husband. But they come in like big chunks. And that's what this famous person wanted. And she's like, I don't know who he was, but Michael went and got some and shaped it for him and whatever. So they shape rocks, they make jewelry as well, but it's mostly the stones. Like, here's my malachite from them. I mean, this piece was only like $8. Right here was my fluorite. This fluorite is amazing. It's got inclusions, and again, it was like $8. So, yeah. And it's authentic, and they will tell you if it's been irradiated, where it comes from, how it works. And again, I don't make a commission. I just want to see really hardworking people survive in this pandemic stuff. And also, I want to see you get the vibe that you need and the support that you need. So think about that. Okay. I was just jibber jabbering. How's everyone doing? Come say hello. So we're having a roof put on this week. So I won't be back on Thursday. I, however, will be back on... I can't come on Wednesday. I've got sessions. I might just show up on Friday afternoon, depending on the roof, if it's done or not. I don't know. I will keep you posted on my website because we literally have to leave the house because it's going to be loud. It's going to be so loud. My husband said, we're renting a hotel room across the street, like 3 blocks away. It's like, oh, how smart. Okay, we can just go there and work for the day. Okay, so does that help? There they are. Oh, there you go. Hi, Lucy. It does make sense. Good. I'm so glad because, this world that we're living in right now, and let me just show you one more time the screenshot of where we are. With the details that you could utilize. It's like, what's coming to you now? In a few weeks, we're going to be in 7 retrograde vibes. And that is all going to be turning inward. You're going to be looking at stuff on your walls and saying, why do I even have that anymore? I don't want it. It doesn't represent me. This is my environment. I need it to be the highest vibe possible to represent what I love, who I am and am becoming. So now's the time to really start going through your closets to sift through your feelings, because as you are a vibrational being, so you will attract what's going on in here. The only thing you need to heal is the fear. That's it. Bottom line. But how we get there, it's utilizing programs. Again, Uranus represents space, technology, higher vibes, innovative thinking, astrology as well. And Mars it represents how you act, and it's in the tarot, it's represented by the Fool. It's like, let's jump in. Let's just give it a whirl, Cheryl. What's the worst that can happen? But now with the retrograde, it's going to be more, I used to do that. I don't think I want to jump into that anymore. I don't feel the need to do that. My husband's a former stand-up comic, and I said to him, do you miss it? You miss being on stage? And he said, no. I said, can you imagine being in New York right now? He's like, oh my gosh, the traffic alone. I can't. I can't. Right? Sitting in traffic. That alone can be stressful. So you pick and choose your environment, your thoughts, your feelings, and then whatever comes up in the opening when you meditate. I say meditation creates space for healing, right? So you meditate a little bit, you do some chanting, and then what happens is you've created space. You've changed your vibration, and then something that's been waiting to come up to heal inside of you, body, mind, spirit, thought, old wound, whatever it is, it will surface And like being handed to you on a platter, you can say, no, I think I'm done with that. Yeah, I don't need that anymore. Or I need to address that. I've been ignoring it. I know it was there. That ache in my shoulder, that, my foot, my heel, my whatever. Going to the eye doctor, it's people put stuff off out of fear. So now we're going to pay more attention to it. Now we're going to give it what it deserves. And then in any retrograde, you are renegotiating, you are redistributing, you are reviewing, you are reassessing, you are reestablishing, or you're releasing. Ta-da. Okay, me and my shungite are going to go have the rest of my intentional drink. And I will be back, I don't know, this week of September when Mars turns retrograde. That's, just be aware when you're driving. Just look both ways an extra few times. Wear a helmet if you're on a bike. Just extra caution this week. When any planet turns retrograde from the point of view of the Earth, that energy is somehow like, it just squeaks through our body and we go, wait, what happened? I got confused. I took a wrong turn and what happened? So you just want to be as present as possible, and whenever possible, pause. That's all you got to do. So stay present, be sparkly. As always, I wish you peace, and I will let you know in the chat on my page when I'll be back. It's looking like Friday, the 11th, probably. In the afternoon, maybe noon my time, maybe 1 o'clock, which would be 4 o'clock Eastern. So we'll see. I'll let you know. We'll see how things are progressing. All right, folks, thanks for being here, and I'll speak with you soon. Bye.